And hello again, boys and girls. Welcome back to the channel, and it's your host Marley Starwood, and we're going to be continuing on our campaign of Ultimate General American Civil War, where we've been playing as the United States. We've taken Boston, isolated the British in a province down in the southeast, and then we were moving on to take Rondoga. I would give a bit of a sit rep of what we did last game, our last stream, and what my sort of plans are before we start the next fight. So far so good, really, not on a too bad a spot. All we have to do is be a bit wary about potential British naval invasions, but there's not much we can do at the moment because we can't get enough officers out on the field to actually build any more units. So for now it's a non-issue. There's nothing really we can do about it. As long as we hold Boston and some of the ports, then it is what it is, and then we can focus on finer things. But I really thought perhaps sort of loaded up the campaign before I'd I did my little sit rep, but hey, it is what it is. As you can probably tell at this stage, it's going to be more of the same, really. I've shown you pretty much all there is to see about the campaign, but we'll go from there. So general sit rep is we'd moved forward, and after I diversionary strike coming from Salem that saw two of my units rout, I was able to divide the British forces and fight them in a pitched battle. That then drove them down into Middlesbrough. So they've got about 4,000 troops in there, but I've garrisoned my two cities to contain them, and as soon as I can, I will build another unit of officers so that they can actually, I'm going to give that to the intelligence department to do, so that they can so we can recruit more troops. At the same time, most of the northern forts secured. They were pretty much empty, and I've only left a small garrison here just to effectively act as a guard for the map expansion. In the meantime, I'd campaigned, secured Montgomery, and moved forward with about 3,000 troops ready to take Fort Saratoga. When I can get any more troops, I'm going to build a couple of schoolhouses here, and once I get more troops, I'm going to advance on Fort Saratoga. I'm probably going to do it now with my 3,000 troops. I'm going to try and circle it, so I'm going to move this troop out in a day's time, and then we'll move to Fort Saratoga. Actually, I'm just going to move now. I'm going to move that troop down now, because we should have the numbers to fully encircle that fort. And if you fully encircle it, that's 1,200 troops that won't be coming back. In terms of construction management, I've got the AI mostly doing it. That's why I've got no build points, because the AI is building. So they're building production in Boston, they're building supply in Hatfield, and more production. In terms of my foreign relations, not much is going on here. The French are sort of air. The British sort of Spanish are sort of air as well, but it is what it is. And my colony management is in Hartford. I've gone for military because this will be my military base of operations, and when I can, I'm going to turn Quebec into agriculture to feed my armies. Well, actually, I'm just going to turn them into production because, production when I do take Quebec. You can see in Boston, I've also gone for agriculture because they've got grain. So if I can get that up high enough, I'm hoping that we can start mass producing food. When it gets to sort of August time, I'm going to start changing my doctrine to surplus provisions so that my armies can be fed. At the same time, I have one wagon that should be gaining surplus provisions for the winter, so I can move them down when winter begins to strike, so that my troops can stay on the offensive without dying. I also recruited some mercenaries to aid my advance. Ooh, let's go with firearms to aid my advance into Ticonderoga, and we're in a pretty solid spot at the moment, so all things good so far. So we'll begin the campaign now. As soon as my troops march out into Albany, we'll begin the advance. So with that done, I'm going to take all these troops, form a brigade, form another brigade, form a brigade, and take these troops, and we're going to march from Fort Saratoga. Some of you might be thinking, why don't we wait to get our manpower back up simply because we're not in a position to build up enough manpower at the moment. And perhaps could focus on recruiting. So if I go to Hartford, for example, I'm going to leave it on mining because it produces quite a lot. So how about Providence? Perhaps get these guys on recruiting to give me more manpower to feed my armies. So we're getting the advance with our 3,000 men, hoping for an easy victory here. So our 3,400 versus their 1,200. We have to really destroy this force, because if we do not destroy this force, they're just going to withdraw back into Ticonderoga, which is going to make it a bit of a nightmare for me to push any troops out. So this is where you've got to be thinking a bit more tactically, but I've already showed you the pretty much go-to strat for most fort battles. In fact, I look forward to fort battles now, because I know whatever's in there is going to get wiped. So that gives me a load of guns, a load of prisoners. And so on the one hand, this is where you start to see the flaws in the gameplay for this campaign. It's become very Total War-y. You're going to see the same sort of battles over and over and over again now. The only thing I do have to worry about is that I can only fight one tactical battle at a time at the moment, because I've only got one general on the field. With one general on the field, that means that I really am at a bit of a bad spot in case I do go on the offensive into Boston. So at this stage, you're probably well aware of my tactic of increasing my firepower and increasing my survivability by making these big units. Also means I'm more charge resistant, because they can't really charge me when I've got 300 troops there, 100. So that's always a good thing. So I've also got some natives. Now I've never actually played with natives before, so I'm going to see how well that works out for us. I hope it does work out pretty well, but if it doesn't, then I'm not too upset. Really just there to add to my numbers. I might bring him around to manoeuvre in the rear, and then they can just sort of sit there chilling. The aim really on is that early aggression. I'm aware that manpower wise these guys aren't fully equipped anymore, but there's not a lot I can do about it, because there we are. So we move our cannons up, move our infantry up, move our infantry up into a big old line, and then move the rest up like so, and then move the rest up like so, and move the rest up like so. And then our artillery can move forward as well. Now they should be able to garrison every sort of point in that fort with their troops, but it doesn't matter if my guys are out. The idea is that as long as they're being attacked from all sides, I should be able to take this position with a fair amount of ease. Once I do take Fort Ticonderoga, I am tempted to start building some artillery companies, because it makes my life a whole lot easier. Weird, bizarre sort of a line here, but hey ho. The fort was bigger than I anticipated, so I'm going to have to move some troops in the rear. 1 unit, 2 unit. Let's move. The aim will be just to do a little bit of containment. Just don't want them getting out. Better than nothing. Alright, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These guys guys to hold, get these guys to hold. Oh, fast for my liking. Run these guys up, run these guys up, run these guys up. Move these guys a little bit closer. Okay. Malicious routing a little bit is what it is. The first surrender. Don't really want these guys running, but it is. Do decide to run, they do decide to run. Back over to my sort of area. Cowards, cowardly militia, do your jobs. Ah. Good, good. Nice little surrender there, nice little surrender there. That's most of the troops out. I'm happy with that. So there's 1,200, about 248 missing. Not bad, not bad. I lost quite a few troops and that. I'm going to have to spend some time replanning my armies now. Not really something I want to do, but something I sort of have to do at the moment. I'm going to send up my general to scout Ticonderoga and then make a decision from there. If I can just pull out another troop or pull out another unit, then that's happy. I'm happy with that. And there we are. That's those guys all surrendered. These guys can move back into Albany. Take a look at Fort Ticonderoga. See what we're dealing with here. Lovely stuff. Really, I could go again. Garrison these guys in there. Garrison these guys in there. We're not going to request anything from France, because I don't want to really piss the French off. But now these lovely cannons, oh, these already fell. Let's go with, oh, that's all I can afford. Go stamina efficiency. But now you should be starting to get a nice healthy dose of, I want This fur, isn't it? Maybe your fur traders. I want a recruiting house here as well. And over here. And now we have researched the first building for a barracks, and now I can finally start pushing down to get these fusiliers. So I'm going to give it a day, and hopefully I'll have enough. There you go, I have more troops coming down. So I can't really afford to wait now. I'm going to have to move up everything I have. Otherwise they're going to secure Fort Ticonderoga, and it's going to be a nightmare for me. I need to fight this. There we are. They're 1,933 versus my 2,762. Hard one. Don't know if I'll be able to make it. I'm gonna hope I can. But it needs to be done, otherwise they're going to keep on sending troops down from the north, and it's going to be an absolute nightmare. But once it's taken, I can move on to Quebec, and I can probably move out my good troops now, move out my good regiment, and send them back to Hartford. These guys, these like 2,000 or 3,000 troops can just sit and plonk themselves down in the fort. I don't think they're going to get attacked, so I'm happy with that. 300 there. Maybe a case that I do have to cause them to withdraw and not engage and fully encircle the fort. Okay, what about you and you? Nope. You and you. Let's merge those guys up. Merge those guys up. It'll be a costly battle, but one I've got to do really. Otherwise, we're going to end up in a rather painful situation, because if we don't take that position, all what's going to happen is I'm going to start getting reputation hits, and I can't really afford reputation hits that early on. Bear in mind that I'm going to need them. Need to use that reputation to sort of rush research. So instead of trying to encircle the fort, we're just going to aim to encircle an edge of the fort. Hold. 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 Hold, hold. There we are. It's a nasty fort, not much I can do about it. Yeah, the first route. Okay. Could do with some more ammo, if I'm honest with you. If I can take the losses here, I can wear them down. I'd rather take the losses and stop them reinforcing. Just let these guys rebuild their morale. Maybe start time thinking about sending up the provision wagon as well. Point blank on these guys. I'm gonna leave the battle. I gotta withdraw back. Yes, I gotta withdraw back. That was far too costly to actually try and keep doing. Well, we've reached our limit now, I guess. I'm just gonna have to think of a way of getting around them. And probably the best way of doing that would be, let's bring these guys back over here. Let's bring my good troops back down to Hartford. And bring these guys back down to Washington as well.
Press the attack. Regroup here.
So let's just garrison these guys up in Fort Saratoga. What sort of supplies have we got in Fort Saratoga? Not too badly. Yeah, so these guys are going to start mass spawning up here, which is going to be a nightmare for me. An absolute nightmare. But it is what it is. I don't really care about the naval department for the moment because I don't really intend to have much of a navy.
Victory or death. Push through.
So we'll send our troops back. We'll see if these guys can actually be re-equipped with things. So have you guys got enough muskets? Yeah, you guys got plenty of civilian muskets, so that's fine. Send these guys back down to Hatfield. I want to reduce desertion rates, so we're going to increase the salary a bit. Okay, there you go. And increase the bounties quite considerably now. Can I recruit another unit? No, I can't. This is where I'm going to have to buy it on the bullet. Just give me another unit. I'm going to rush this. Don't need ammunition. Hartford, I would give you this. I guess give you a recruiting house, and I'm going to need a church because you're going to be taking a ton of casualties over there, and eventually a schoolhouse as well. There we go, new project. Get that research back up, and then I'm going to recruit another army, another regiment. Oh, I can recruit quite a few. Actually, let's cancel that. I want to replace some of these guys. That increases my troop limit. Who's better? 17, 12, 18, 14. Not very good. 16, 32, 10. Not very good. None of these are very good. Alright, let's get some more troops out. More troops. I've got some brown besses. We'll be equipping some troops with brown besses when we get a chance. Let's get some galloper guns. Let's get some more civilian muskets for the militia. And then we'll just have to wait a couple of days. Agree to their demands. Always keep those guys happy. I don't want to piss them off. There we are. Lovely stuff. Send these guys up. Yeah, they're going to keep on sending troops down, which is going to be a nightmare, but it is what it is. Okay, that's that army ready to go. That's that army ready to go. How are you guys doing? Gonna have to start retreating troops out of these areas because I need to replan them. Start equipping these with brown besses. And send this army up north. Alright, what have we got? A healthier army than initially expected. Workable. Let's go in there. Let's garrison them up. Let's bring the wagon over to Kensington. Any more officers I can recruit? Nope. Got a naval invasion coming in. They might be tempted to take Portsmouth. But I'm going to send 100 division troops down to secure Portsmouth. Keep these guys, something like that. Get these guys out. Get this guy out. 1, 2. Join the caravan of love. Move back up. And move back up.
Hold the line.
250. Could be worse. Let's take a look at Fort Ticonderoga again. 1,500. That's a healthy number. The Olive Branch petition. It's just the British trying to be soy. Don't worry about it. How's the Mercs? The Mercs are pretty happy. You're in a bad spot at the moment, Mr. Soldier. Yeah, you troops are pretty banged up, so you're going to be of no use to me. However, you will be. And that altogether would be a whopping army of 3,400. I think it's better to wait at the moment. Where's the wagon? The wagon on its way? Yeah, the wagon's on its way. Let's garrison this fort for now. I'm going to give it 2 more days. If I can't get anything from them in 2 more days. It's going to take them 48 days to replan. I'm going to take them 0 days. Artillery Chief. I don't really care about your artillery for now. $489 men, that works enough. How about you? 47 days still. One more day. We'll move this army up north as well. Let's move them all up north. Increase the bounties. I need as many troops as possible for the early war. Take this army and this army, form a little regiment. You guys going to move forward as well. Okay, that is a lot of men.
Keep moving.
I'll try the second battle of Fort Ticonderoga. Get these guys garrisoned up. So 4,300 versus their 1,500. Still going to be a bit of a nightmare because I haven't really reached that critical mass yet, but I've got to stop the British from reinforcing. Maybe a couple of battles before I take it. But I need to really shunt them out of there before they send reinforcements up. Because if I don't manage it, then what's going to happen is the British are going to keep on reinforcing, and then I'm going to have 4,000 men in that fort. And I cannot afford to have that many men holding down troops and basically stopping my supply, because the supply line goes through Fort Ticonderoga. I might be able to get around it and starve it out, but you can see economically at the moment I'm in a pretty good spot. So what make hay while the sun shines. I take these bad boys. This is also another thing I hate, the fact I've got to do this every single battle. Bro, like you know, oh no, definitely not that. Still, I'm quite happy with my mercenary band. They've been quite useful to me. So is that everyone? Pretty sure that's everyone I can use at the moment. Once again, start the battle. Move these troops up. You guys should be pretty well supplied now. I know I have been rushing you guys forward a little bit. Once again, I'm going to try the encirclement strat. Now that I've got more troops on the field. And I've got some artillery pieces as well. That's good. And the two cannons are going to assault the centre on this road. Although these cannons aren't going to be the most effective, they're only galloper guns, they're still going to be of some use. I want to pull these guys back a bit. Actually, do I? No, because the cannons are coming forward. Going to be too close to the front line. Be careful about that.
Advance quickly.
There we are, we're getting to a good spot now. The galloper guns are pretty useless early on, so that's why. But they're just nice for the morale shot. Like, they're going to take casualties, they're going to get hit, but hey ho, it is what it is. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I've encircled as best I can. Let's move these guys forward, move these guys forward. Move these guys forward. And they can't garrison everywhere. Oh, you're in a good spot. You can fire. Okay. Good, one surrender. Another surrender. Friendly fire there, which is nice. Yeah, you can't garrison the whole fort, can you, boys? Another surrender. Probably not the best place to put your troops, bearing in mind your backs are literally up against the wall. So I don't really understand the logic to that British strategy. Let's charge it. Told you guys to charge it, but I guess not. This is why I have to play on 2-speed, because I end up micromanaging so much because the unresponsiveness. It's understandable why they would be unresponsive, but you know. Move this army around, stop them abandoning the fort. Go! Now let's leave troops here, they should have nowhere to run. And that should be everyone more or less captured. Next prisoner. Next prisoner. I don't know what you guys are planning, lads, but hey ho. I'll take your sweet, sweet cannons there. I don't know, I wonder if bows are actually more effective than muskets. It'd be amusing if that was the case. And the speed is up to 3 speed. And there we are. Of this battle, we've lost 404. We're pretty even Stevens now. But that's Fort Ticonderoga now under our control, before any more sort of allied British troops come down to make my life a nightmare. Okay, let's move these guys in. Let's see what Fort Frederick looks like. 1,300. Okay.
us through.
I think we should go in for another cheeky attack on Fort Frederick, personally. How much ammunition have we got for these armies? Enough. We'll push further on for Fort Frederick. We'll move these guys forward to secure Fort Ticonderoga and become our garrison boys. But I think we should just keep going, personally. And then once this is secured, I don't have anywhere left on the map to deal with, so I'm actually quite content with that. You need to push forward, lads, otherwise we're going to have a real nightmare.
Charge forward. Fire!
Good enough. And then we'll use our pivot strategy. So once we've secured this, we're going to start moving back down to secure Massachusetts. I do like these mercenaries. I'm tempted to recruit more of them. But they've performed remarkably well. Last game I didn't even bother getting mercenaries, so I'm actually very happy with how they've performed so far. It's a shame what what the future has in store for them. I probably would have stayed with the British if I was them, but hey ho. Hey ho. We don't like to talk about that part. I wonder what if they actually have sort of Indian historians or Indian sort of community that sort of talks about the French or the American War of Independence. I wonder if there's any sort of the old tribes left who still discuss it and are like, yeah, my great granddad fought in that. Wish he hadn't. But hey ho, it is what it is. Although I'm not particularly an expert in the sort of American Indian Wars. So I don't know if the guys who helped in Canada and that are sort of peaceably assimilated, or they were just like, yeah, you know what, we're going to do some Great Plains warfare. As always, we get our lovely cannons. See, even though the gallop guns are useless, it's the morale shock they have, and the fact that if they do get close enough, they can inflict some hecking healthy casualties. So they like to send out skirmishes early on. It's a nuisance, but they would normally die quite easily. Just gotta keep an eye on them. Now I like these tiny forts with like 2,000 men in. They always end up doing rather well for my prisoners of war. Also, I'd like to see how many British. I wonder if the British had a choice to whether or not they could be American, or if like you had a British prisoner of war, whether or not they had the choice to be American or they had to go back on the boats and had to be sent back. Because that must have been gutting. Imagine if you were like an English peasant and you had to go back after losing the war, a war you don't particularly want to fight. As what I think most of the British soldiers at this stage are sort of press-ganged peasants. Like, yeah, I mean, back in this sort of period, soldiers really were the scum of society. Like, they were, you know, just the people who were press-ganged into it, prisoners, people without any other sort of option. If you think about it, not much has changed, or things have reverted a little bit, because this is back before the days of conscription and nationalism, where your soldier was a professional, quote-unquote, professional career. That's one thing I think has sort of gone with modern society, especially in Europe, is that soldiering is no longer a professional career. It's not something you do for life. I mean, back in the old days, the good old days, you would soldier, retire quite early on in your life, because that was, you know, that was a deal. now you don't have that opportunity. You're basically going to have to soldier and then become a civilian again. Which I don't think is a particularly fair thing, especially if you take into account how much effort goes into soldiering. Yeah, see, I love these tiny forts, so much easier to encircle, and I'm pretty sure they get like a morale shock as well over time. I could equip my militia with round besses, but I'll just end up forgetting to unequip them after, and I always forget when they take too many casualties and they don't recruit to full size because of it. So we got ourselves a surrender, but they surrendered in the fort, so they're probably going to surrender back out. Yeah. The only thing I will say is that these battles do take quite a bit of ammunition. No, you're not going to do that. Nope, no escape for you. At least my guys might get away there. Oh no, go with you as well. In this way you can really just equip your armies to quite a high standard without having to buy enemy equipment. Oh, are we going to get out? You'll probably surrender in the campaign now. Because now I've got plenty of round besses. A bit of friendly fire there from the cannon. There we are. Punch these cannons for me, will you? And back to the global map. So that's Fort Ticonderoga taken. That's the north of the map taken. We're going to send our armies now back down south to deal with Massachusetts. These guys are going to move back south. We're going to spend about a day in Fort Ticonderoga. Just to resupply. Can I get some more troops? Any more officers? No. I'm a bit annoyed because there's like 64 troops here. I'm pretty sure they're going to be a nuisance. Go deal with those 64 troops. If you can't win against 64 troops, then I don't know what I can do with you. Okay, that's about a day. We're going to head back down to Hartford. This bad boy is going to move into Fort Ticonderoga. We're going to do a bit of a recruitment on fur traders. And then I'm going to do a little research on what I'm dealing with Middlesbrough. So colonial representatives are involved in clandestine diplomatic negotiations with sympathetic European powers, aiming to secure potential alliances to support their cause. So let's get the French on side, because it seems like the French would be the most likely to be nice to us. At the same time, I'm going to be constantly sucking France's... I'm going to be constantly nice to maybe do a trade agreement with France. Because as long as I keep France happy, that's potentially a way of increasing my troop numbers. Or maybe getting a French invasion for my benefit.
Victory or death.
So with this army, I reckon I could probably, so that would be 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. They're going to be pretty hard on troops now. I'm hoping it'll be pretty hard on troops, really. They should be. And they're going to give all these guys brown besses. And that should be enough. Let's get that loyalty up. Now Hartford is going to become slowly disloyal as I take more casualties. There's not really much I can do about that. Provide these gifts. Always give things away to natives, or they will become the bane of your existence. Like, the natives must be kept happy. Build a schoolhouse, we're going to need that. And build a recruiting house as well. Okay, these guys should now be ready to go in. Kingston, I don't know about Kingston. I have no interest in Kingston. Alright, now let's take a look at our troops. So these are all equipped with our lovely brown besses. That's lovely. Brown besses are pretty good weapons, so I'm happy with that. These guys are not. Let's make sure all our troops have got brown besses ready to go. Spanish, brown besses are better. Our cannon, let's give these guys a 6-pounder. Give these 150 men. Give these guys civilian muskets and give these guys another 6-pounder. I could delete that unit, but I don't really want to. What have we got over here? Artillery Chief, let's give you guys the blacksmith shop because I want to rush down. Oh, gun production is nice, but I would like to rush down to the howitzer 5.5. Actually, do I want to go down? I've heard that stat-wise the howitzer 5.5 is pretty crap, so I want to keep going to the 6-pounder field gun. So yeah, I want to go down to here. These boys are all ready to go, happy with that. These guys should be ready to go soon. What happened to you? Shouldn't you be getting big? Apply, apply, apply. Can I recruit any more officers? Yes, I can. Oh boy, you are going to be in the hurt locker soon. Add, add, add. Artillery piece. 12-pounder, add. Gonna need to buy some sweet really muskets. Oh, there's none on the market, that's a shame. How's my production doing? Racking out 91 a day, that's not bad. So, I've now got a whopping 7,000 versus all 4,000. I can't break these guys now. I don't know what I'm going to do. Bearing in mind that some of my regiments are very well trained now. Get these guys out. Oh yeah, and you guys also can boot up. Some brown besses. I've got a lot of troops here that should have been trained up when they weren't. 40 guns. I need 40 guns. Let me buy some brown besses for you guys. Right, military regiment. Artillery pieces. Give me some 5-pounders. Not enough guns. Fine. Cancel that. Pound best. Pound best. Okay, happy with that. And click apply. There we are. Alright, mission accomplished. Operation misanthrope. Let's do this. Not enough muskets, I'm aware of that. I need to pause a little bit. I need to make sure these guys are all recruited and ready to go. And form a little regiment of these troops as well. That's not going to work. That's not going to work.
Aim true.
Let's do it. Lunatic, move in.
Charge forward.
How about now? There we are, no reinforcements. One reinforcement. Happy with that. What we got? Militiamen. So they got cannons, copious amounts of cannons. Well, I've got numbers now, so let's see how that pans out. I believe those troops have been a nightmare for me, so if I can crush them, it would make my life so much easier. But again, the caveat of this game, it's all about numbers. Because of the nature of the game and the nature of the stats and the nature of the units, you don't really have particularly specialised units, so it just comes down to who has more numbers. And as long as you've got more numbers and you can encircle, then generally speaking, the game is a pretty easy affair. Still, let's not let's not be screaming our victories from the rooftops just yet. What are you guys anyway? I got one militia. Okay, I'm happy with that. Got some cannons, happy with that. I think they've got more cannons than me. Oh, because it's in a different box, that's why. Oh, so many troops. It's going to be a hellish experience. At least I can reduce down the micro by doing this. Alright, let's take a look at the maps. So first things first, normally I like to withdraw and form a defensive line. So I'm going to form a defensive line here with our cannons in the centre. So one cannon, two cannon. This cannon's coming over there as well. I'm going to form this a massive cluster of cannon in the centre. And these guys are going to move over here. We're going to send little reserve troops behind the cannons to come up just in case they do get attacked. I'm going to move these guys back because I want these guys as far back as possible. Let's start the battle. Alright, so first things first. This cannon needs to move back. This troop, and this troop needs to move back behind here. This troop needs to move back on the right. This troop, and this troop needs to move to the right of that. Right of that. This troop can move over to the far right. These guys can move in the rear. Alright, let's see what happens. So this is our centre point, our angle advance. I'm hoping to get a cheek encirclement or to just break the enemy's centre using these cannons. Now these cannons aren't on the best terrain, but they'll hopefully do the job. Okay, the first engagement of the day. Okay, I'm feeling quite confident now. Oh, hello. There we are. There's the reinforcements coming up. Okay, first route, that's why he's got some troops in reserve. Good kills in the cannon so far. Okay, let's start with a march across the line. That's also good. The sound also needs to have to be a little bit improved. That's also what I've noticed. Okay, our first surrender. We surrendered back, which is not good. Ah, with a volley. Right. Let's trash this flank. Surrender there. Take that. The flanking action failed because I was too aggressive early on. My right flank is up in the air. Fine. They are now in the process of gravity, which is great. Still a pretty close one. My turning action did achieve the initial results. The cannon battery did perform extremely well for what I needed it to do. So I'm quite happy with the end result of that battle. If you take a look, I lost 900 to their 1,000, or their 2,000, so a 2-to-1 ratio, and those troops won't be coming back for the British. So I'm quite happy with the end result of that. They're going to have to run now. I don't know where they're going to be running to, so I will have to be a bit wary of what these British troops now decide to do, whether or not they decide to mince around or be a bit of a nightmare. Or hopefully pull back into the peninsula. If they pull back into the peninsula, I'm a happy man. Which they are going to do. So guess what? We're going to chase them.
Press the attack. Push through.
A project for my quartermaster. I would like to increase the supply limit. Or go for a grain mill. Get a grain mill early. Some bits drawn off side, happy with that. And that is all I needed. See if I can get these officers as well.
Hold the line.
Camp. So we're going to move our 2,000 strong force up into Boston to be our reactionary force. Recruit another unit in Salem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. And then our main force is going back down to Hartford to be prepared to conduct further operations into Quebec. Why have I got 500 men there? Who knows? Who knows or cares? With that front secure, I can now focus on what's more important, which is moving up to Fredericksburg.
Keep moving.
And there we are. Map taken ahead of time, plenty of time to begin the next operation. Fort Rice, I can lose Hubbardton, I don't really care about that too much. Has the map expanded now? It's not. Here we go. Make sure we've got everything built. So New York, New York. What do I want from New York? Where is the capital of New York? Not on the map. What can you produce? I want production from you, New York. Produce me as much as you can. And you don't produce a lot of food, so get me some production going there in New York. I need a granary in this area. Anywhere with food, I need a granary and a warehouse. I'm getting a lot of money. I don't understand where I'm getting so much money from. Who knows? Give me one more factory. And a few more of these. Give me guns. Okay, so I'm going to end the video here. So as you can see, we've taken Fort Ticonderoga and we won the Battle of Massachusetts, pretty much securing the entire sort of southeast or the sort of northern field of the map. Next, when the map expands next, we will move our armies north with the intent to take Quebec. So this army and this army in Hatford is effectively just going to march up north. Oh, what have we got for you? Give me another £6 gun for you. Oh, okay, not enough. Fine. Fine. Give me a ground burst then. There we are. And we'll begin as soon as it gets sort of to July, August time, so about mid-August. I'm going to start focusing on provision expansion. Yeah, I want to give anything I have over. Don't have enough civilian muskets, that's not good. So now I've got to capture Quebec. So the next campaign will be moving this army up to secure Quebec. And so we're going to take Fort Jones, Fort Chamberlain, Montreal, and then move up to Quebec, and then move on from there. So far so good. I'm happy with this. Good campaign at the moment, and a pretty strong spot. So I'm going to give this a day and then move forward. You can see up here our garrisons are slowly adding up, so that's also doing pretty well for us. And we've got our fully supplied provisions wagon ready to go as well. We're going to buy some wagons. He says, but we can't, so I need to go to production and build some wagons. There we go. Anyway, thanks for watching, boys and girls. Next video, we advance. Anyway, so far so good, but if you're expecting anything very different, you're going to be sadly disappointed, because, how I put it, you're going to see more of the same. Maybe the occasional naval invasion, but nothing too important. Yeah, so far so good. See you guys soon. Bye!